25 Best PS3 RPGs. Number 25, Dragon Age 2. A lot of improvements were made to the systems running the game, including a better graphics and a streamlined interface for combat. This game is all about character development and keeping you invested in the story because you want to know what will happen to the underdog and his friends soldiering on despite the odds being stacked against them. Number 24, Dungeon Defenders. Dungeon Defenders is a hybrid-style tower defense game. What makes this game unique is the great blend of RPG elements, tower defense, and third-person action. With 4 different character classes that persist over your account and separate character pools for ranked and casual play, there's a ton of content for you to enjoy. Number 23, Dragon Age Origins Awakening. The story is epic in scope without overshadowing the cast of characters. Moreover, the depth of the combat has yet to be topped by similar RPGs. With a huge chunk of choices that affect the final outcome of the game, there are hundreds of hours to enjoy and new things to discover.
Any last words for the crusty
Number
bastard?
22, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is a great mashup of Skyrim and the Fable series. And since one of the studios responsible for the game has shuttered its doors, it's a shame that there will probably no sequel. So that makes it a unique RPG that you need to play if you get the chance. Number 21, Dark Souls 2 Crown of the Old Iron King. Crown of the Old Iron King is a DLC to Dark Souls 2 and adds a new section to explore and a new mystery to uncover. It's been lauded as one of the hardest additions to Dark Souls 2, and if you love the Souls series because of its high level of challenge, you'll want to check out this DLC. Number 20, Dark Souls 2 Crown of the Sunken King. This is another DLC to Dark Souls 2, adding another area to explore and history to discover. Crown of the Sunken King is like Blighttown on steroids, and any veteran knows to quake in fear at the mention of that place. More Dark Souls and more bosses equal more fun to those brave enough to face the challenge. Number 19, Eternal Sonata. Eternal Sonata is a truly unique experience even for a JRPG, a genre that's renowned for quirky and crazy stories. The gameplay is centered around a traditional RPG turn-based battle system blended with an action-oriented phase after an initial tactical phase. With an engrossing narrative and clever battle mechanics, Eternal Sonata is a game well worth picking up. Number 18, Atelier, Escha, and Logy, Alchemists of the Dusk Sky. This title is a fun character-driven RPG with central mechanics based on creating and refining items to create something to explore the ruins. With an addictive gameplay loop and compelling personal narrative, this part of the Atelier franchise is a worthy addition and has been enjoyed by fans of JRPGs for years.
To challenge the dangerous
Number 17, Dragon's Crown. Dragon's Crown is a gorgeously animated 2D brawler/RPG hybrid, and games of this type aren't common anymore, and that makes it stand out. The art style and simple gameplay make this a fun little outing that you can take on in bite-sized chunks or marathon. Overall, it's fun, fast-paced and surprisingly deep. Number 16. Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas is arguably one of the most beloved entries in the Fallout franchise, and for good reason. The story and its branching paths give the game immense replayability, and the conflict raging across the Mojave between multiple factions give you plenty to do and lots to discover. Number 15. Atelier Rorona Plus The Alchemist of Arland. Atelier Rorona Plus The Alchemist of Arland is a mashup of storytelling and game mechanics. It has traditional RPG elements, a crafting system, and visual novel storytelling. Between the combat, the personal story, and the addictive crafting elements, you'll have a game that will suck you in and keep you invested.
It was just getting fun.
Number 14. Final Fantasy XIII. All the characters are well thought out, and each has a compelling part to play in the plot, and it's fun to watch them interact together. When you combine all that with the amazing graphics, you get hours of fun and that are a feast to the eyes and a joy to play. Number 13. South Park The Stick of Truth. Unlike most South Park games, however, this one was written by the comedy duo responsible for the TV series. And even if you aren't caught up with the series, it's still funny and takes shots at the tropes of RPGs while also being a tightly designed one on top of it.
Sorry about this.
Number 12. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. With a deep story filled with compelling characters and an enjoyable combat system that rewards exploring the relationships with your classmates, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel is a great game that will keep you interested from beginning to end. If you like a good story and rich combat, you'll definitely enjoy this game. Number 11. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. Might and Magic Clash of Heroes is a turn-based strategy RPG that has a special blend of tactical, puzzle, and RPG systems. With a straightforward, accessible story and fun gameplay, you explore maps, fight enemies in a grid-based strategy combat, and learn how to stop the oncoming demon horde from taking over the world. Number 10. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch. Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch is an RPG that combines traditional turn-based combat with the familiar system. With its surprisingly deep combat system and its cutscenes animated by the famous Studio Ghibli, there's a beautifully rendered world to explore. Number 9. Diablo III. Diablo III is a continuation of Blizzard's hit franchise and has made a lot of refinements to the formula. The console has a streamlined interface and has simplified leveling to make this the most accessible entry yet. With multiple skills to unlock, character classes to play, and mountains of sweet loots together, there's a multitude of reasons to keep playing.
For generations, your family, the
Number 8. Dragon Age Origins. Dragon Age Origins is a spectacular Western-style RPG from BioWare and launched the popular franchise. Most importantly, every decision you make has an impact on the ending of the story, and these world-shaking choices will follow you on to the sequels. With a game world and characters so well developed, it's hard not to recommend it to people who enjoy RPGs. Number 7. Dark Souls. Dark Souls is the first game in the cult hit series. The game is well known for its challenging combat, unique storytelling, rewarding exploration, and deep lore. It's an acquired taste, but once you feel the thrill of victory, you won't look at games the same way again. Number 6. Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is the sequel to the original Dark Souls, and it doesn't pull any punches. Combat is just as challenging and rewarding as the original, with expanded character building options. The land you roam is richly detailed, and the lore is just as well crafted. Moreover, the bosses are epic and require all your finely tuned skills to master. Number 5. Demon's Soul. Demon's Souls is the first game that the team who created Dark Souls developed, and the combat in this is just as difficult as the rest of the Souls franchise. If you are a fan of the Dark Souls, you owe it to yourself to play this game if you get the chance. Number 4. Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is the first entry in the franchise made by Bethesda, and they moved the game from an isometric turn-based RPG into a full 3D first-person action. The cherry on top is the amazing vocal performances by Liam Neeson, Malcolm McDowell, and franchise veteran Ron Perlman. Number 3. Mass Effect 3. Mass Effect 3 is a thrilling conclusion to the mainline Mass Effect series. The third game takes all the decisions you've made throughout the previous games to determine the state of the game world and how your decisions affect your relationships with your crew. You can't miss the end of such an iconic series.
Normandy, we're going to reroute. Do you copy?
Number 2. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is an amazing game. It really makes a town come alive when you can see the people going shopping, blowing off steam at the inn, or deftly picking pockets in a crowded marketplace. No playthrough will be the same, and there's enough content to keep you finding new things every time you play. Number 1. Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 2 is the sequel to the original Mass Effect, and it took great strides toward making the franchise more inviting to new players without sacrificing the science fiction story that was set up in the original. If you haven't played this yet, you should do yourself a favor and pick it up.